Good evening, otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your dark mask diva. Okay, so I had somebody ask me, why would somebody refuse a hug? Alright, now, what you need to understand is not everybody likes physical touch. Not everybody is comfortable with that kind of thing. Some of us are more tactile than others, and some people are really uncomfortable with closeness. Now, I'm one of those people, for some reason, the people, total strangers, will get within an inch of my face. Today I'm going to tell you what happened to me at the doctor's office. You guys are not going to believe this story. It's going to sound like a scary story and that I'm making it up, but I'm absolutely not making it up. Okay, I'm going to tell you why this was so scary. I was afraid that I might have COVID-19, okay? So I went to the doctor to get tested. Of course, I had a mask on, and I was trying to sit as far away as I possibly could from the other patients in the waiting room. So they made me wait an entire hour, okay? So I'm sitting there with my mask on. I'm looking down at my phone because Zen is live streaming, so I'm typing to him, right? As he's live streaming, and he's talking to me because I'm typing to him. I look up because I sense somebody coming towards me, okay? And I can't make this up, and I'm not making this up. You're going to think I am, but I'm not. This man looked like Quasimodo. You know, the Notre Dame Quasimodo? He was a hunchback, and he had an eye, his eye was like this, and he had sores all over his face. He had a bulbous nose, and he really did look like Quasimodo, but he had sores on his face. His face was an inch from mine. He was like eye level to me, and he was like this close to my face. And his eye was like, you know, he was like this close to me, and he made sure he walked as close as he possibly could to me. He zeroed in on me and he wasn't looking at the show. He wanted to get as close as he possibly could to me and eye level to me. Now, I think that I have COVID, okay? And I'm sitting there scared. I'm sitting there worried that I'm going to infect other people, okay? I'm scared because I think I have it. I was up last night crying about it, and the night before, okay? So I'm sitting there, I'm really upset, and I'm upset because they haven't even called me yet, and I've been sitting there an hour. And here comes Quasimodo. Okay, and I'm not trying to make fun of people for being ugly, but this guy was freakish, and he was scary, and had sores on his face. And I'm sitting there, and he startled me, and I almost jumped out of my seat. The fact that he was this close to my face. Okay, I almost jumped out of my seat and screamed. And again, I am not making fun of him for being ugly. It's because he was that close to me. If I would have seen him from across the room, I would have just been like, oh my God, God bless him, and just said a prayer for him. Because, I mean, obviously, you know, he was born with some kind of deformity, okay? That's really sad. You just need to feel sorry for people and pray for him when you see that. But he was this close to my face. He made sure he walked right up to me and made me uncomfortable. Okay, here's the thing, you guys. It's not okay to impose physical closeness on people if they don't like it. Okay, now I personally do not like strangers that close to me. If I know you, all right, if you're a relative, unless you're a relative who's really mean to me, or you're a distant relative, I really don't know you, it'll take me a minute to warm up to you. If you're a friend that I've known for years and years and years, if you're Zen, if you're my relative, if, you know, something, you know, if I feel okay with you, yeah, I'm going to hug you, and I'm going to feel okay standing and talking to you. Don't move in and be physically close. Don't be a stranger and be this close to me. First of all, I'm afraid that I'm going to infect somebody. If I think I have COVID-19, I'm afraid that I'm going to infect somebody with it. I was feeling awful. I mean, I'm sitting there with a sore throat, and my eyes hurt, and my muscles hurt, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm there to get swabbed. I'm worried, I'm there, I'm not feeling well, and this guy who, looks like he's had a very unfortunate life, he's this far from my face. What can I do? Like, yell, get out of my face, Quasimodo. He's pretty unfortunate already. Luckily he left, but I told Zen about him later, and Zen was like, oh my God, another weirdo got in your face? This happened to you again? Because it happens all the time. The thing is, you might like somebody and want to give them a hug, or get up really close to them and talk to them, because you like the person. You like their aura, you like their vibe, you think they're neat. This guy might have just thought my glasses were cool, because I wear glasses, okay? I wear reading glasses. I'm farsighted. So, I don't wear them on here because they get foggy, and, I mean, here, I'll put them on real quick. People like my glasses, see? They're kind of cool, huh? Okay, people like my glasses. So he could have been, like, thinking my glasses were really cool and wanted to get, like, really close. Okay. So, he could have just thought they were interesting. But people do that. I'll be at the mall and someone will come up this close to me. They will come up as close, and it'll be like a teenager, or it'll be anybody, and they will get extremely close to my face. And I'll think, why did they do that? I mean, I don't know why people think it's okay to be that physically close to somebody. To me, that's the most disgusting behavior, being that close to somebody. But some people, I think we all know people like that. I think we've all had a job, or went to school with, or went to church with that person. There was always, like, all touchy-feely on you. Like, they always had to touch your arm, or they always had to, like, touch your stuff. If they weren't touching you as a person, they were touching your belongings, and you're just like, would you stop it? And it got on your nerves, and like, there was always that person who went around hugging everybody. And you were just like, and they came in the room and you would leave the room because you didn't want them to hug you. Because they always just went around hugging everybody. When I was a teenager, there was this girl at our church, okay, in our youth group. And she had really horrible skin. Now, I know I have really puffy eyes because I have allergies, okay? So, you guys have seen I have puffy eyes in most of my videos because I have allergies, alright? So, my eyes are usually pretty puffy, okay? But she always had really bad breakouts on her face. Like, I don't know why, but her face was always broken out. And she was always like, hi, and hugging everybody, and her face was always in everyone else's face. And I didn't know her, but she would always come up, and she was taller too. Like, I'm only 5'3". I'm little, okay? She would come up and always like, hi, and she was always like hugging on people, okay? So I was afraid of her, okay? So she just like was scary to me, all right? So I just did not want her hugging me. First of all, we'd never been formally introduced, and I wasn't trying to meet her. So people were always like, have you met so-and-so? And I'm like, miss me with that. No, I'm good. And I was always like making sure that everybody knew I didn't want to meet her. And everyone's like, have you met? No, I'm good. No. And people are like, and I was always just making it known that I was not interested, and just kind of like, no, I'm good. So but she was always just getting in everyone's face and hugging everyone. Hi, sweet horse. And just putting her face really close to everybody's face and just forcing a hug on everyone. Okay, so maybe that person just does not want a hug. Okay? Now there's other people, if they're doing something and you always have to come up behind them and put your hands on them and do stuff like that, okay, maybe they don't like it. All right? Some people just do not feel comfortable with you being in close physical proximity to them. Okay? Because I'm letting you know, people do that stuff to me all the time, and it scares me silly. So, if someone doesn't want a hug from you, just know it's probably somebody like me who's scared of stuff like that, and has people in my face all the time, or trying to hug me, or do this to me, and I just don't like it. Okay? It's a person like me, who's just scared, who has people getting in their space all the time. All right, some people just are not comfortable with other people in their personal space. And everybody's personal space is a little bit different. All right, so trying to force your presence in their personal space is not going to make them like you. And asking them why they don't want a hug is not going to make them like you. And taking it personal is not going to make them like you. Okay, some people, that's just scary to them. Okay, and it might be because they find you unattractive, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it might just be because they don't like people in their physical space. It might mean they're on the autism spectrum, but it might just mean they don't like people in their physical space, and that's okay. Some people just don't like that. But it might be you're kind of an overbearing, needy, clingy person too. So you might just wait for them to hug you first, or you might stop trying to hug them, okay? Or they might be afraid that they have a virus. Think about that. Some people are not going to go around going, back off, I think I have COVID or the flu. They're not going to go around telling you that, okay? So just if somebody is not a physical person, if they don't want to hug, if they're not trying to shake your hand or anything like that, don't try to have any kind of hug or handshake or be in their physical space. If they're taking a step back, let it go. There's probably some good reason for it. They need a lot of physical distance, okay? And just respect that. Okay, because what happened to me today was really scary. So I thought I would just share that, and if everyone could say a little prayer for me, I'd really appreciate it. All right, I love you all. This has been Juliana Angel, your Dark Mask Diva. You guys have a wonderful evening. Good night.